Hey, what's going on? So, something I wanted to add to the whole marijuana thing was that if, okay, a lot of people who get a traffic ticket, like I said, getting a traffic ticket is a Class C misdemeanor, and the class system, that's just how to how to label the severity of the crime. Okay, for example, a Class A misdemeanor is an assault on a family member. Okay, now that is a reason to get punished and go to jail for. You know, acting violent against people. You know, that's not cool. And okay, so in class, I already told you, a Class B is one of them would be driving with a suspended license, which and Class B misdemeanor is also what possession of marijuana is here in Austin, Texas. But it's also you know, it's also punishable by up to 10 days, I believe it is, or 15 days. I think it's 30 days. I'm not sure, but anyway, something like that, to 6 months. Which, I mean, if you're driving, like I said before, if you're driving with a suspended license and you get caught doing it over and over again, then maybe you should sit in jail a while and think about it, because you're putting other people's lives at risk statistically. Okay? So, anyway, now, a lot of times people do not want to get on probation. Probation is something that a lot of people can never finish. They end up having to go to jail for a long time because they look really messed up when they don't finish their probation. You know, what do you think a judge is going to see when you're a young Hispanic or young black male, even a grown black man or a grown Mexican or Hispanic, even white men nowadays have to worry about getting in trouble. It sounds crazy, but this is America, a place where, you know, only 40 years ago it was still okay to call black people nigger and to call people spics and, you know, things like that. Anyway, oh look, here's another punk ass cop. I don't know if he's a punk ass, but you know, I go walking around here. I could be walking around here for any reason. Oh look at that. Always messing with somebody. Anyway, so let's get back to what I was talking about. So, yeah, Class B misdemeanor. A lot of times, people, you know, what happens with the suspended license is you go to jail, and you have to sit there for about 10 days, and you get, you know, you go see the judge. The judge tells you that's not a good thing to be doing, and then you get sent back home. And the next time you go, you get punished longer, and next time you go, you get punished longer. That's how it works. You don't, you know, you might have to take a defensive driving class, and, you know, you might have to retake your license test. I don't know what they do, but you know, these kind of things seem like a reasonable punishment for something that has to do with driving. But when you have marijuana, and especially if you're not smoking it around anybody, you know, there should be no punishment for it. Especially if you're not smoking it. It doesn't do anybody any harm if you don't ingest it, you know. And even if you do ingest it, it doesn't hurt you. But anyway, that's for another time. So, marijuana, people do not consider it something to be taken to jail for, just like littering. So that's why you have a lot of people littering. You know, that's why you have a lot of people speeding, because they know they'll just get a ticket for it. So, if you know, if you know, if some guy is on the run for something, you know, he's like, if you get caught with marijuana, I think it goes up to a felony or something like that after you get caught with it a couple of times. I'm not sure, but I know for a fact that they will not let you keep walking. You know, they will not let you keep making it without making your punishment more harsh every time if you smoke marijuana. I've never seen anybody be put on probation. It could happen all the time. I don't know. I don't see it happening. Maybe it's because because everybody who's in jail is poor and they don't have cars to begin with, you know, and so nobody has licenses to be driving with them suspended, you know. They take your car away from you, it gets impounded, and what are you supposed to do? You know, you don't have any more money because you spent it all in commissary in jail, or you spent it to get out of jail. Anyways, you know, like I said, another topic. I need to re-listen to these so I can remember what to say about those things. But so you with people who have marijuana on them, they don't, you know, these same people probably wouldn't run if they have a traffic ticket. If they're speeding and they don't have any warrants or anything like that, you know, they probably wouldn't run. At least not as often. Now, I know that I know that people run when they have marijuana lots of times, because and that's dangerous, because what if somebody leaves and then they go and they crash into somebody? They try to speed away and then they go and crash into somebody, or you know, anything could happen. You know, a cop, you know, chases somebody, adrenaline starts running, adrenaline starts pumping, cop gets overexcited, shoots somebody, or vice versa. So, you know, over something that was harming no one. Anyway, now if people have guns, or they have other drugs, anything else like that on them, then of course they deserve to be punished, especially if it's a harmful drug, and if it's a drug to begin with. Anyway, I think that that doesn't make sense if it's a drug to begin with. If what I mean is if it's any type of drug, whatever, it doesn't matter. What I'm trying to get at is, you probably, like I said, I could be wrong. You probably wouldn't have as many people running from the cops as you do if you just made marijuana punishable by a ticket. You know, it should be punishable by a ticket all the time. It shouldn't go up from that punishment, because you know, if it's just going to lead to more problems, you know, because it really is something that's not, like I said many times, not harmful. Anyway, if you stop making it a crime that people can get sent to jail for, and you start making it a crime that people will gladly pay a $25 fine to let the cops keep their stuff, let them keep on about their day, let them do their work, let them go to school, let them read their book, let them eat their food, let them, you know, whatever it is that they want to be doing, socializing or whatever. You know, that's how it should be. It shouldn't be something that you have to be scared to be around somebody with because of the smell that's coming from it, because, ooh, it smells like a skunk, ooh, it's so scary, right? Man, that's, you know, it's ridiculous. That was actually one time when I had some dro, because, you know, around over here in Texas, you know, it's still illegal. So even though dro is stronger, it's still the same punishment for having, you know, it's like the same amount of dro is you know, if you have an ounce of dro and you have an ounce of regular weed or swag, it's the same punishment. All right. So, but anyway, I think that which is ridiculous, to say the least. Nah, but yeah. So if you get caught with, you know, if you get caught with dro and you get caught Reggie here, it's the same charge. So, all right, I'm gonna have to come back to you on this one. I'm almost running. I'm running out of time. So just give me a second.